Michelle at My Everyday Wife Life, and it's cookie making day. Yep, so excited to do my very first collab video, virtual cookie exchange with 7 other lovely ladies, and I have listed them in the description down below, so be sure to check out their channel and their video on their cookies. And everybody's going to be leaving their recipe in the description too, so you can make your own cookies and follow along with the recipe. So these are my snowflake cookies. I'm going to make another cookie after these. So these are my snowflake cookies, and I haven't made them in a really long time, but I thought y'all would enjoy these. Typically, they don't do well in Florida because the humidity, they get soggy. So if you're making them, you probably want to make them that day. Or if it's cooler weather, it'd be alright. Like, I already made these a couple hours ago, and they're already soggy. So, yeah, that's my husband coughing around in the background. He's got a little cold. So, yeah. So, like I said, they already got a little bit soggy. You need to put them in an airtight container. I probably will crisp these up in the oven and then re-sugar them with sugar when I'm ready to serve them, whatever I decide to do with them. So let me show you. Okay, so the ingredients you're going to need is 1 cup of flour. It's very inexpensive to make. I know, like, when you make chocolate chip cookies, 7-layer bars, very expensive. These are really cheap. You need a cup of milk. You need a tablespoon of white sugar. You need a teaspoon of vanilla and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you need one of these irons, one of these rosette irons. I'll see if I can find a link on Amazon where you could buy that at. This is a hand-me-down from my mom. They also have butterflies and hearts and whatnot. So you just mix up the batter. This batter, I've already made some cookies already, so this is a little less than what you will make. And it's just like a dough batter, and then you put it in oil in the pan, and you fry them. So let me show you how that works. Alright, so my oil is heated up to the right temperature. I don't have a thermometer, but I went ahead and tested one to see. But the recipe, and I'll put a link below to where I got the recipe from, and post the recipe in the description too. It says to have it at 375, because if you have it too high, then the batter won't fall off the iron, the cooking iron. So you put it in there, and then you flip it over and finish cooking it, and then you place it on a paper towel. And then I put a paper towel over here so I could rest the spatula on there because it gets very oily. So what you're going to do is you're going to heat up the iron. I keep it in the pan at all times, and then you're going to dip it into the batter. Now, you don't want to go over the top of the iron, otherwise it won't release into the pan. You'll have batter on the top of the iron, so you want to keep it just a tiny tad above the sides of that. Let me show you that. So I'm going to shake off a little oil and then dip it into the batter, just barely. You can hear it sizzle and see how it's there, and then you want to immediately put it in the pan and shake a little, and it releases the snowflake. So while that's cooking, I'm going to do another one. That one didn't go up the sides very well, and then you want to let it cook a little bit and then flip it over. Okay, once you get a bunch done, you're not going to want to pile them on top of each other, because then the oil will just drip down on top of it, and it'll get you know, too soggy. So you want to move these to a plate. So I'm going to move them over to this plate and then start on another. Okay, so you wait till they're completely cooled, and then you sprinkle them with, you sift some powdered sugar on there. And again, if you live in Florida and they get a little soggy, you can stick them in the oven to crisp them up and then let them cool down and sprinkle them and bring them to your party or whatever you're going to do, and just crisp them up just before you go to your party. Probably should keep them in an airtight container, and if you live in a different part of the country where there's not so much humidity, I still think you need to put them in an airtight container. These are really cheap to make. I mean, it's just flour, egg, milk, sugar, vanilla. The thing that costs the most is one of those irons. I'll see if I can find a link to Amazon where you can buy one of the snowflake irons, the rosette irons, to make these with. Okay guys, for my second cookie, well, it's actually going to be toffee. I'm going to attempt to make toffee. I've never done this before. I've seen other people do it, but yeah. So instead of plain toffee, I'm going to put crackers on the bottom of them. I was going to make plain toffee, but then I'm like, that's going to be too hard. And I've heard of putting crackers on the bottom, but I wasn't going to do them because I'm trying to do gluten-free. And I went ahead and picked up some gluten-free crackers from Publix. Normally I don't buy the gluten-free products. I'm just not into processed food. But I'm going to try these and see what happens. So you need crackers on the bottom, and put it on parchment paper on a large cookie sheet. And you're going to need 2 cups of sugar. Oh my god, that's a lot of sugar. A cup of almonds, coarsely chopped or finely chopped, however you would like them, and 2 cups of chocolate chips. I'm using the Ghirardelli 60% cocoa chips. And I got the recipe off of allrecipes.com, and I'll put a link to that below. And you need 2 cups of butter. Oops, I only have 1 cup of butter, and I have to get 2 more sticks. And you're going to melt that until let me read the recipe to you. You're going to melt that until it becomes a dark amber color or 285 degrees, and I'm going to have to wing it because I don't have a thermometer that goes up that high. So let me see how that's going to work. Okay, almost there, but not quite yet. It's still light yellow color. Probably a couple more minutes. Still not there yet. And another recipe I said to do the, what do you call that, the softball stage, where you drop it in the thing of water, and you can tell that's not ready for that. But I think that's for toffee that you're not going to put on top of crackers. You're going to make sure that's going to harden really good. The reason for using the crackers is so that you don't break your teeth when you bite into it. And the other reason I decided to make this was so that my husband has been begging me for years to make him some kind of caramel cookie. And I just didn't know of a recipe that I liked. And I was afraid to try something new. And since we weren't doing the cookie exchange this year, I decided to try this. Okay, it hardened up when I put it in the water, so I'm going to go ahead and try to. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I think it needs more chocolate. So I end up using a bag and a half of chocolate. This bag was half full, and yeah, that was way more than the 2 cups. I just felt like it wasn't enough. So there's still some chips not melted, so I'm going to let it melt before I put the almonds on top. And I'm just using a cake spatula, like a frosting spreader thingy. So I spread the almonds on top, and now I just have to let it cool. And then it says to put it in the refrigerator for a while, but I'm not going to put it in the fridge now. It's like piping hot. And, which I just realized was on the counter. I should put a pot holder underneath it. Anyway, so then you break it into pieces and store it in a container. So let's wait till it cools, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all cooled and broken up into pieces. So guys, this is how it came out, and I mean, it looks okay and everything, but honestly it's too thick, and which kind of defeats the purpose of having the crackers on the bottom so you don't break your teeth. So I was debating when I looked at the recipe to cut it was going to cut that in half. So 1 cup of sugar instead of 2. So yeah, do you see how thick that is? That's way too thick. And then the crackers are not even breaking the hardness of it, so it still breaks your teeth when you bite into it. I don't know, it's still good. I'm gonna use it, and well, just bit into a piece. It's yummy. Still kind of hard though, but yep. Hope you enjoyed this recipe, and thank you to all the ladies that joined the collab, and my first collab, and I know it was last minute, and I really appreciate you joining in, and enjoy your day, guys. Merry Christmas.